Welcome back. All right, so just a scheduling note. The Ottawa-Philadelphia game is done, but there's only 8 minutes until the start of the next game, or at least the next broadcast gets started. So I will finish up that board and have that recap done in between the first and second period of Florida and Winnipeg. Recap, review, whatever we're calling it today. At any rate, the Columbus Blue Jackets have placed Eric Robinson on waivers, and that is due to Olivier being removed off of the injured reserve list. So Olivier's good to come back. Only misses the one game for Columbus. Ottawa, who we just watched against Philadelphia. I will not spoil it for anybody who doesn't know what the result was yet. But Pinto, it sounds like he's headed home, and it doesn't sound like a deal is close, but the fans want Pinto. There were We Want Pinto chants in the third period of the game today, and to close out the game as well. Michael Andlauer being in attendance. It might be a good time to start chants for We Want Pinto so that the owner can talk to Pierre Dorion and go, so where's Pinto? So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, Ottawa still needs to create some cap space in order to sign Shane Pinto, but the fact that he's gone home rather than staying in Ottawa, that doesn't necessarily bode well. We'll see what happens with that going forward. But Ottawa, I think, needs Pinto. Clearly, the fans believe that that's the case. And I will say, too, Michael Andlauer, very personable, taking pictures with the fans today, doing all the things he should be, all the owners in attendance, for former owners in attendance, minus, of course, Eugene Melnick, who passed last year, but his daughter's in attendance. So, there's a feel-good sort of story there with Ottawa. They need to get Pinto signed, though, in order for that to really and truly take over as a feel-good opportunity. And, of course, getting Norris back, and he could be back for their next game, that would go a long ways as well. Ekholm is set to return for the Oilers tonight, who will be looking to bounce back off of a really rough opening night against the Vancouver Canucks. Pretty easy to do better than they did in that first game against the Canucks. We'll see how it goes for them tonight as well. Adam Erne yesterday signs a one-year, two-way deal with the Edmonton Oilers, worth $775,000 at the NHL level, $250,000 at the AHL level. Erne, solid depth option with some experience, and so I think the Oilers, good move signing him. I believe there's still others that were on tryouts that teams are saying, yeah, just stick around. We don't have any cap space right now, but I know Erne was one of those cases where rather than sending him home or signing him, they just basically said, all right, hold on, we'll get this all figured out. The LA Kings putting Arvidsson on the long-term injured reserve. It's a lower body injury for him. It's too bad because I like Arvidsson. He's a good goal scorer, but he also is a player who does get injured regularly, and it feels like it's an annual thing that happens. So Arvidsson on LTIR. We'll see how the Kings navigate that. The good news for the Kings is there are a lot of good young players who can jump into that spot. We'll see if somebody grabs that spot and does well with it. Jordy Ben, so he was on a tryout with the Dallas Stars, did not make the team. He is signed in the Swedish league, so doesn't look like there's going to be an NHL contract for Jordy Ben. He is winding down his career, and as I've mentioned before, when a player's winding down his career, playing in Europe's a good option. They do pretty well with players coming in. Honestly, players have always been very complimentary for how the Swedish league is, and I see no reason to think that they're not telling the truth on that. So yeah, all the best to Ben in the Swedish league. And finally, Vancouver, tonight will have DeSmith as their starter. A lot of questions about what's going on with Demko. What's wrong with Demko? It's the flu. The Demko had the flu that caused him to get pulled early from the last game. And it sounds like he may still just be dealing with just feeling kind of lethargic. But DeSmith starting tonight. This is why you go out and get DeSmith and you don't leave the goaltending as is, where it would have been Silovs that was starting and maybe Spencer Martin would still be on the team as the backup. I do like DeSmith as the option for the Vancouver Canucks, so we'll see what happens with that game tonight. I'm guessing the Oilers should bounce back. They should win. It's their home opener. So regardless of me being a Canuck fan or whatever, yeah, the Oilers should win. It's their home opener. And they have to be ticked off with how that game ended the other night. So we'll see what kind of effort we get from them tonight. But again, the recap/review of the first game of the day will go up in between this first and second period between Florida and Winnipeg. I just knew I didn't have time, so this video gets done instead. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hey, Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.